In this walkthrough, we're going to take a look at a few examples for how to best filter data with SharePoint and Power Automate. When working with Power Automate, you have the ability to filter data from the data source, in this case it's SharePoint, and return only the rows that you want. This is useful in a number of situations. For example, let's say on the first of each month, you want to return all of the expenses that have a status of pending, or you want to see expenses that cost more than $1,000. And then you can do something with that data that is returned in Power Automate. You could send it via email. You could put it into a PDF. You can do many different things. But the key and focus for this video is going to be how do we filter out the data from our data source in Power Automate to only get those specific rows, because you don't want to return all of the rows, or you don't want Power Automate to have to look through every single row in a list or a library, whatever the case may be, because one, that's just not best practices, and two, you're going to run into performance issues. So with that being said, let's just jump into the first example where we're going to filter out some of the data in this expenses list to only return the rows that we want. To start off, you want to log into Power Automate. You can do that by going to flow.microsoft.com, or if you're already in Office 365, in the upper left, you can click on the waffle, and under Apps, I'm going to click on the three dots next to Power Automate and open a new tab so that I can still see my SharePoint list of expenses, but I can also see Power Automate. From Power Automate, on the left, click on My Flows. At the top, click New Flow and select Scheduled Cloud Flow. Give your flow a name. And for this example, I'm going to set when I want the flow to run. Click Create. Click plus New Step. In the search connectors and actions, type SharePoint. Under Actions, click Get Items. In the Get Items action, expand site address and select the SharePoint site. For this example, I'm using Marketing Department, and the list name will be Expenses. Expand Show Advanced Options, and here you'll see you can filter query. So an OData filter query to restrict entries returned. That is where we are going to focus. So for this first example, we want to get all of the items that are equal to $1,000 or more. So to do that, I will filter my cost SharePoint column is greater than or equal to. So GE is greater than or equal to, and if you did GT, that's greater than. And we want to say 1,000. And that's it. And then I want to go New Step. In the search connectors and actions, type HTML. Under Actions, click Create HTML Table. From, and we want to do under Get Items, we want to add dynamic content, value, list of items. Click Save. And to show you how this works in real time, I'm just going to test the flow. So in the upper right, click Test, manually test, run flow. Click Done. The flow will take a moment to run. And now if I expand Create HTML Table, I should see the items. So these are all of the items in my expenses SharePoint list that are greater than or equal to $1,000. I can verify that by going over to my SharePoint list. Got Google Advertising, website annual fee, camera equipment, laptop. So that was one example. Now let's modify the filter to show just the pending status items. So we'll edit it, expand Get Items, clear the filter query, and it's going to be status is the SharePoint column equal to EQ pending, which needs to be in single quotes. Click Save, test it again, expand the Create HTML Table, posters, website, camera equipment, looks correct. So it just pulled all of the items with the status of pending. So those are two very simple examples for how to filter data. The last thing I want to mention is pagination. So right now, the way that this filter will work is it's going to get only the first 100 items. If I want it to get more than 100 items, then I need to click on the three dots for my Get Items action and click on Settings. If you turn this on, you could go up to 5,000, or you could set it to less. That's up to you, but just remember it will have effect on the performance of the flow, so just keep that in mind. But that is it for this walkthrough. You now have a basic understanding of some of the best practices and a few examples you can reference when trying to filter data from SharePoint in Power Automate.